In this video here at Beyond 40 and Just Getting Started, I'm going to explain how I may be lighting $50,000 on fire and I'm still excited about it. I've selected a false peak for myself. That false peak is to start with $50,000 of seed capital, start a land flipping business that within 12 months generates a net profit of $100,000. As I've been setting up the infrastructure for this land flipping business, I've been interacting with more and more people in the land flipping world. There's been a few comments from these people that have more than escalated concern in my mind. One of the individuals I talked to told me that he outright realized land flipping was not for him. As I look at this opportunity with eyes more open, I start to recognize the competitive nature of land flipping, as well as view the potential for the saturation of investors in this space. All of those things raise in me a deep concern of this $50,000 I'm putting in as seed capital. Will I see it again? That's a little disconcerting for me. But you know what? I'm still moving forward. And actually, I'm more excited about the endeavor than ever. Let me explain why. Land flipping for me isn't a destination. As I've talked about before, I'm not generating an identity for myself of a land flipper. I have a time-bound challenge, 12 months to flip land. I'm intentionally keeping it time-bound because I'm not looking for a new job. I'm not looking for a career to replace the employee swimming pool. I want independence. And in fact, my ambitions are much bigger than land flipping and much bigger than making $100,000 of profit. So honestly, regardless of what this challenge does in terms of financial outcome, there's a couple of skill sets I'm looking to develop because of this challenge, which I see as being much more valuable than the money itself. Let me talk about those here. The first skill I'm going to need to help me climb future peaks beyond land flipping will be that of organizing teams. Hiring employees, delegating responsibilities, creating systems and workflows is going to be critical to enable the growth I'm looking for. However, working with people doesn't just come naturally. It takes effort. So with this land flipping challenge, one of my stipulations for myself is hiring 1099 contractors to help support the workload. In part, I'm doing that because as I look through the requirements of just how much time will be required to find the lists of names, to generate the mailers, to respond to the replies, I recognize that if I want any chance of achieving that $100,000 profit, I'm not going to be able to do this alone. And naturally, I'm a competitive person. So once I've said I want to make $100,000, I want to make $100,000. So realizing the amount of workload that's going to be there, I'm going to need a VA or two to support. But really, I'm looking at bringing on board the VA not as an operational necessity. I actually look at it as a skill that I need to develop. At some point, I'm going to have permanent full-time employees. And I need to know how to find good people, how to interact with them, and how to set them up for success with appropriate tools and appropriate support. I know that a collection of good employees on a team will be able to go much further than any of us can go alone. So in preparation for employees, I'm starting with 1099 contractors. Really because my back-end infrastructure isn't set up to handle payroll and the administrative compliance responsibilities that come with an employee. So the first advantage for me of this land flipping challenge outside of money is just the excuse to build the skill set of bringing on board people and giving them clear instructions and directions to help the system succeed. The second skill I want to get experience with here in this land flipping is taking on external investor capital. It is certainly possible for an individual to compound their own wealth and achieve good success. The downside to compounding your own wealth, however, is that you are time-bound. There's a limit to how quickly you can grow. If you're willing to take on external investor capital, however, that limit is erased. With an appropriate network of limited partners who trust me and my operations and my track record, I can pool that capital to be able to succeed and tackle bigger projects than I'd ever be able to do on my own. But I know that getting that trust with the LPs isn't an overnight thing. I need to have a track record myself, and I need to generate relationships. Throughout this time as I'm flipping land, I'm looking to build that track record, create those relationships with LPs, and bring on some investor capital. Because the other side of the equation is having the back-end support required to fulfill the fiduciary responsibility of managing somebody else's money. That likewise is a skill I need to develop. The projects I'm considering for future years are much bigger than I'll be able to take down with my own money. So as through this land flip endeavor, as I build trust with LPs, as I create the back end to be able to responsibly and honestly manage their money, and as I prove that I can produce respectable returns, I'll have more and more opportunity to pull from a bigger and bigger pool of capital. And along the way, have the added privilege of knowing that I'm elevating the financial situation of more than just myself. As mentioned earlier, I'm excited at some point to have employees and taking on external investor capitals. Both of those give me opportunities to bring others into my operation in ways that they can succeed as well. And they can enjoy the benefits of the prosperity swimming pool in the same way that I am. So truth be told, I'm not walking into land flipping blind. I am more and more cognizant of the competition, and I'm more and more cognizant of the difficulty that's in front of me to be able to achieve this $100,000 net profit, especially in such a tight timeline as 12 months. But you know what? I'm still excited about it. I still think I can do it. And even if I fail financially, I'm going to develop skill set which will benefit me for many future endeavors to come. What about you? Would you risk your own capital in order to help you build a skill set to climb a higher summit in the future? Leave your comments below. In this community, we're excited about the future. We're excited about the opportunities that are still ours, even beyond 40. Thanks for joining. Like this video, subscribe. We will see you next time.